Chiefs Kingdom football season will be here before you know it, and if you are ready for it to be here, I'm not even talking about camp, preseason. The Chiefs don't need any of that crap. Maybe they do, but we're all ready for week one. At least I am. If you are too, like this video. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get at least 500 likes on today's show. If we don't, I guess you guys aren't ready for Chiefs football. I know I am. Like the video if you're ready for football season. The Chiefs Report is presented by Manscaped. If you want to get the best men's grooming products on the planet, go to manscaped.com, use promo code Chiefs. That'll get you 20% off plus free shipping at checkout. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to today's Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. We got some rumors to get into, a little bit of news as well. We'll go ahead and start with the latest around Orlando Brown and a possible contract extension, because we're actually less than 2 months from the July 15th deadline to get a new deal done. Otherwise, we'll have to play on the franchise tag. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports that the Chiefs remain optimistic that a deal will get done between now and then. Brown is also reportedly in between agents at the moment, so things could drag out a little bit. He's got to get a new agent. He'll probably get Drew Rosenhaus, because that's who gets clients the most money. Here's what Jeremy Fowler had to say in further detail before I give some of my thoughts. Quote, "The Chiefs are optimistic that they can sign Brown long-term, but one hurdle is that Brown is between agents. It's believed he's in the process of trying to hire one now, but as of now, this is similar to the Jackson, talking about Lamar Jackson situation. No agent means the process can play out slowly. Still, nobody is worried here. Kansas City has 2+ months, just under 2 now, to get something done. Brown made a Pro Bowl in his first year with Kansas City after it gave up serious draft capital to acquire him for Baltimore last season. Such an equation usually results in a long-term deal." This is going to get done. He'll have to get an agent, sure. I bet that'll happen by June. And then in the month of June, early July, they will sign him to a long-term deal. Orlando Brown's going to be a part of this football team. There's just too many things that don't make sense if you don't extend him and let him play on the franchise tag. It drives up the price for next year if he plays well. Get it done. It's going to cost a lot of money, but you knew that when you traded for him, so I fully expect this to get done in the next month and a half. Will Orlando Brown sign a long-term deal before the deadline? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. What do you guys think on this one? Will Orlando Brown sign a long-term deal? And the reason I ultimately think this will get done, and Jeremy Fowler mentioned this as well, you don't make this blockbuster trade. He plays pretty well, which he did after a bit of a slow start last year, had to adjust to the scheme, and then not commit long-term. Like, you don't do that. Like, the only reason you would not commit is if, A, he suffered a big injury last year. He did not. B, he was terrible. He was not. He was pretty good. Started slow, took some time to go from that power rushing attack scheme in Baltimore to this, more traditional passing scheme in the NFL. But once he got used to things, I thought he played a lot better the second half of the season. What are you going to do? You trade for him, and then you're just going to let him walk? Who's going to play left tackle? I mean, it doesn't make sense. He's going to be your guy for the next 5+ years, hopefully the next 10 years. I mean, that's what you're hoping for when you go get a guy like Orlando Brown. He's an anchor on this offensive line. An offensive line that improved literally overnight, because Brett Veach saw what happened in the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago, said, nope, not doing that, traded for Orlando Brown, signed Joe Thuney, drafted Trey Smith, and the rest is history. Creed Humphrey as well, and this became a top 5 unit, maybe the best unit literally overnight. I think that's going to continue to be the case, and keeping Orlando Brown is going to help keep that continuity. So he's going to be here. Don't worry about this. He's going to get a new deal before training camp. Now, today's show, like we mentioned, presented by Manscaped. We mentioned Orlando Brown as an anchor on the offensive line. If you want to be an anchor in the bedroom, go use their products to clear things up downstairs. The Ultra Smooth package is kind of an add-on to the Lawnmower 4.0, which you should get. You can also check that out at manscaped.com. After you clean things up down there, to finish the job, use the Ultra Smooth package, which includes crop exfoliator. Rub a little bit of that down there, and then you throw some of the crop gel on as well, which is clear so you can still see where you're shaving. You don't want to nick those tough spots, which doesn't happen anyway with Manscaped's products, but it's easier to see with this gel that is clear. And then you got the crop shaver to finish the job, keep things nice and smooth down below. After you use the Lawnmower 4.0, finish the job with the Ultra Smooth package, only $31.99 with our promo code Chiefs at manscaped.com. You get this full bundle and that little travel case as well, so if you need to take it on the road, you can do that as well. Manscaped.com, promo code Chiefs, 20% off this product and all of their products over there. Go check it out. Link in the comments and in the description. Okay, James Bradberry, who the Chiefs, I think we're monitoring. Well, no longer. He is off the market. He signed with the Philadelphia Eagles earlier today. 1-year deal, $10 million, up to 10, I should say. I think it's $7.5 million base with a little bit of incentives. Now, he had been linked to Kansas City before the draft and a little bit after, not as much after the Trent McDuffie draft pick, of course, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I did want to mention this. Adam Schefter did say, or report, I should say, that Bradberry had 11 teams reach out initially. Agents whittled it down to 3, and then he chose the Eagles. So he'll stay in the NFC East after getting cut by the Giants. Now he lands in Philadelphia on a 1-year deal up to $10 million. Now, a lot of you are asking, well, what now? Are you good at corner? I actually kind of think you are. If you want to add another vet, you can, but you've got 5 guys that I think you're comfortable with. Obviously, Lonnie Johnson and DeAndre Baker aren't guys you want to start, but if they need to play in a pinch, I think that's okay. Rashad Fenton emerged last year as a starting caliber corner. Him and Trent McDuffie will probably be your outside guys. I liked McDuffie coming out. I think he'll be a good player. L'Jarius Sneed has emerged as one of the best slot corners in the NFL, and cool thing about these 3 guys, they're versatile. They can all line up outside or in the slot and play a little bit of safety if you need them to as well. The McDuffie pick made cornerback a little bit less of a need. Now, if they went out and signed Bradberry, I wouldn't have complained. I think that that would have just given you another good player at the position, but I can understand why he landed elsewhere. I can also understand not giving him $10 million. I mean, you need edge rushers more. That's why I've been pushing to go out and sign Jadeveon Clowney. I think that would be the move that I would make if I was able to, if I was Brett Veach. But I did want to mention Bradberry off the market, so I'm guessing probably done at corner. Maybe another minor move there, but I think all in all, you're sitting in a pretty good spot. Do you trust the Chiefs CB unit? I think I do. Type T for trust, type D for don't trust. Comment down below on this one. I'm going to type my T for trust. I think the Chiefs CB room is in a pretty good spot. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button here on the Chiefs Report as we're trying to get to 31,000 subs ASAP. Share that link below with a friend, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. If you want to stay caught up on the latest Chiefs news, rumors, free agency buzz, draft stuff, when there's a lot of draft buzz. Obviously, the draft just ended, but hey, it's never too early to look ahead to 2023. youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Subscribe. Also, join us on Mondays for our live shows at 4 o'clock Eastern and 3 o'clock Central Time. All right, final story here. Are there health concerns still with Justyn Ross? I mean, I think the answer has to be yes. There's always going to be concerns. The reason I want to revisit this is, well, his college coach, Dabo Swinney, said he was made aware that only 4 NFL teams cleared Ross medically, which is like, oh man, 4 out of 32. That's a pretty small number there. Here's Dabo saying, quote, I knew he could be anywhere from the 4th round to an undrafted free agent is what he meant there. Didn't know that only 4 teams had actually cleared him medically, so he was made aware of that. That's a pretty small group. He's super excited about the opportunity he has. If he stays healthy, he belongs, and the rest will take care of itself. Well, it's now even more clear why Ross wasn't drafted. We knew medical issues would arise, but if it is true that only 4 teams cleared him, well, of course he didn't get drafted. I mean, because I'm sure other teams were aware of which teams had cleared him. They're like, well, I'll take our chances and just let him go undrafted and try to sign him. You're only competing with 3 other teams, and the Chiefs obviously won that battle. Now, Dabo made a good point as well. If he can stay healthy, the talent's there. I mean, you look at what he did in his first 2 years of college football. He was tremendous. That freshman year, I remember some of those plays he made in the national title game against Bama. You're like, this is the best player on the field in this game. Then he has injuries in 2020 with the spine, neck area. Then he breaks his foot. He has an ACL tear, I believe, from his high school days. I mean, the injuries are real. Like, the talent is real, but the injuries are real. I mean, 4 out of 32 teams clearing him medically. They're scared of that spinal fusion surgery. I mean, there's no doubt about it, but the Chiefs were one of the teams to clear him. And, I mentioned this before. As long as Ross understands his medical risks, as long as the Chiefs signed off on it, bring him in. If he can show you something, great. You got maybe a weapon for not that much as a UDFA. If not, no harm, no foul. He's going to have to compete. He's going to have to earn a roster spot, and we'll see what happens moving forward over the next couple of months. Will Justyn Ross be good in the NFL? Will he make it? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Get your votes in, hit that sub button, and we'll see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.